Coach Mofield Show is brought to you by the Kentucky Land Company of Irvington. If you're looking for a little slice of heaven to plant your flag and call your own, give them a call at 547-4222 or check out their webpage at ky-land.com. Hello, Green Wave Nation. This week we're starting one of my favorite parts of doing the coaches show and stuff, and we're going to start doing the senior spotlights. So today we're going to sit down with Mr. Thomas Fox. Welcome to the show, Thomas. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. I guess we'll start off kind of for those that may not know you. When did you start playing football, and then after that, kind of tell us about your role on the team now?
So I started in elementary school, like flag, and then ever since then I've played every single year I could. As of now, my role is I try to like the younger guys. I try to, if they don't know something on play, I'll tell them what to do. Like Backer, our left guard, he has trouble like learning the play sometimes. I was telling him what he's doing, or like try to be a leader.
Yeah. And then, so what positions you play on the team?
As of now, I am a left tackle and a inside linebacker.
Okay. All right. And I think Coach Mofield had some talk about you in this week's show. You had one of the more exciting hits this season on that quarterback. I saw introduced him to the turf last week, so that was always fun. And I think you had, one or two blocked field goals?
Two.
So that was big. But I guess we'll kind of switch off football for a little bit and just kind of talk about life. If we get in the truck, and what music you putting on, if you can pick anything?
Ooh, country.
Country? Any favorite artists or song?
Favorite song is Revival.
Revival? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good one.
Yep.
So we're riding down the road. We're hungry. If you can pick anything, where are we going to eat, and what are you getting?
Culver's.
Culver's?
I love Culver's. And usually I get a spicy chicken sandwich.
You can't go wrong with Culver's.
Can't go wrong with it.
Yeah, and plus they got ice cream.
They do.
Or custard, I guess, isn't it? And then when it comes to movies, what's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie, it's Avatar.
Avatar, that's a good one. And it's football season, so you're playing on Friday nights. Who are you rooting for on Saturday in college game?
Kentucky.
Kentucky, I love it.
I'm a Kentucky fan.
I love it. Yeah, go Big Blue. So, what's it? You've been a part of the program since youth. What's it meant to you, especially this year as a senior, to be a part of the Green Wave football team?
Really, just to try to like encourage some of the younger guys, because we don't have a lot of people playing. We have like nobody, and it kind of sucks because there's a ton of kids that go here, but nobody wants to play football. So I really try to encourage a lot of people to come out and play. Yeah,
and I get y'all are back home this week, and I know when I played, it's one of the things I still remember. Y'all have got a little bit better locker room and a little bit different angle than we had back in the 90s, but what's it like when you come out of that locker room on Friday night and look down on Death Valley and see that crowd?
It feels good knowing we have a whole community supporting us, and that we have a lot of people that have our backs.
Yeah, and if, like I said, you've seen it since flag all the way up to now. You know, you're getting ready to go into week 4, your senior year, so you've seen it from all levels. If you ran into a young 3rd, 4th grader that's wanting to get into football, what would your advice be to them?
Keep trying. You're not going to get every opportunity that everybody else has. Keep trying.
Fight your way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, sadly, this year will be over sooner than you know it. I can say that from experience when I did it. When you walk that line down on Hamilton Field as a senior graduate this year, next spring, what's life looking like right now for Thomas Fox?
Trying to go to college, but right now, I mean, just trying my best just to soak in these last few months that I have here before adulthood starts.
Yeah. Do you have any certain thing you're looking to go into, or still trying to up in the air?
It's kind of up in the air right now, but I really want to get like a business degree or something when I go to college.
Awesome. Well, Thomas, we appreciate you stopping by the show, and we wish you the best of luck this week, and hope you have a great game tomorrow night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. We'll be right back. Hello, Green Wave Nation. We've got a senior spotlight today with Mr. Kameron Bolin, senior on the Meade County football team. Nice to meet you, Cameron.
Pleasure's all mine. How are you doing today?
Doing good. How about you?
I'm doing phenomenal.
Awesome. Kind of tell us about when you got it, how long you've been playing football, and you're senior now. What your position is on the team this year as a senior?
It's been an interesting journey. I've been playing off and on since fourth grade. I haven't truly, I'd say, commit though since my freshman year is when I really started getting into it. And currently I'm playing mostly just D-line play.
D-line.
Yeah.
It's always. I always like defense better. It's funner to deliver than receive when it comes to hitting. Kind of veer off football a little bit and just get into you. If we jump in a vehicle right now, go get something to eat, what are you putting on the radio?
Depends on the mood, on the time of the day, I'd say. Like, if it's early in the morning, we might get some good country going, but if it's like late at night, I might get maybe Kendrick Lamar or some other hip hop going.
Nice. What's your favorite song out of all of them?
Favorite song? That's a tough one. I don't know if I can think it.
Hard to pick one.
Yeah, it's so hard to pick one.
Yeah. But we're riding around. You get hungry. If we can pick anywhere we're going to eat, what are you picking?
If it has steak on the menu, we're going.
Any kind of steak.
Any steak.
I can't argue with that.
Give me a T-bone, a ribeye, filet mignon, anything. I'll eat it.
Not picky. Now, do you have a favorite steak over?
Maybe you can give me a good ribeye. Ooh, it's over.
Who cooks the best one?
My dad. Nobody.
Your dad?
My dad's the best cook I ever met.
So there's no use going to a restaurant when you got dad.
Exactly.
So we're going to your house to have dad throw some steaks on.
Yeah.
That's the pick. What side? What are you getting with it?
Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes?
Yeah.
Taking the mashed over the baked?
Mm-hmm.
I can't argue with that. When it comes to movies, what's your favorite movie?
I'd say probably anything. I like a bit of horror, honestly. Something to keep me awake. Or anything that just tells like a good story about, life and going through it.
Yeah. It's getting ready to be horror season anyway. October's right around the corner.
It's right there.
What's your favorite horror movie?
I'll have to go with Final Destination.
Final Destination. That's a good one. What's it meant to you, or what's it mean to you, especially now as a senior, to be a part of the Meade County Greenway football program?
It means more than anybody I think can ever realize looking from the outside, because it's not just I play football. It's I play football and I have all these teammates and these friends I've made over the years because of it, and it means more to me than anything else.
Yeah. It's something to stick with you for life too. That's for sure. If you were talking to a young third, fourth grader getting into football, and looking back on your path and your career, what would be the best advice you could give a third or fourth grader?
Get started as early as you can. I made the mistake of waiting till my freshman year, and I'd like to think I'm decent right now, but I know for a fact if I got started earlier, I'd be way better.
Stick with it.
Yeah, just keep on going, and the results will come.
Awesome. Unfortunately, this year's going to go fast for you all. Faster probably than any of the 11 or 12 before it, counting kindergarten. Next spring, when you walk across Hamilton Field as a graduate, what do you see in your future right now, or career-wise or path-wise?
When it comes to career, I can't see myself anywhere else other than in the classroom. I want to come back and give on to others what kind of wisdom has been given to me by my past teachers.
Yeah, so you want to teach?
Yeah.
Any certain grade or high school, middle school?
I'm currently thinking,
elementary?
between middle and high school. Yeah.
You looking? You think you might be want to coach too, or?
I've thought about it, and I'm still, I'm still undecided on that.
Yeah.
aspect. I might do it. I might not.
You got plenty of time.
Yeah.
What's your favorite college team?
Big Louisville guy.
Big Louisville guy?
Yeah.
They've got a pretty good education program. You think you might go up there?
Yeah, I'm looking into it right now.
Okay. All right. Well, Cameron, it's been great talking to you. We wish you the best of luck this season, and you take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we'll be right back. We're back with another edition of the Senior Spotlight here with the Greenway football program, and we're honored today to have senior Connor Yonts sitting in with us. Good to see you, Connor. How you doing?
Good, you?
Good. Connor, kind of start off, tell us about when you got started in football and work your way up to what your role on the team is this year, position-wise.
Well, I moved to Meade County when I was in 3rd grade. Played football ever since. It's been really great. Well, even high school has been really, really great.
Yeah. So you started out in flag.
Yeah, started out flag, youth league, middle school.
Worked your way all the way through.
Yep.
So as a senior, what's your role on this year's team, position-wise?
As a senior, you just got to be a leader. Show all the smaller kids and the younger guys whatever football's like about.
Yeah. So you play on line?
Yeah, I play line, defense lineman.
Nice. So if we go jump in a vehicle and we're going to go get us something to eat, we got to turn the radio on first. If you can pick anything, what are we listening to?
We're definitely listening to rock music.
Rock, I like that. Got any favorite rock?
Well, it's just more heavy metal, but
Yeah.
Slipknot.
Slipknot, you like Slipknot?
I like Slipknot.
Can't go wrong with that. That'll get you pumped up for a Friday night, won't
Yeah,
it?
it will.
Now, we've been riding around, we're getting hungry. You can pick anywhere or go eat. Where are you picking and what are we getting?
We're definitely going to Texas Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse.
Getting a big 16-ounce steak.
Oh, we're going for the big boy.
Yeah.
Plus, they got some pretty good rolls too, don't they?
Yeah, that's pretty good rolls.
Yeah. But the steak, you can't go wrong there.
Can't go wrong.
How you get yours cooked?
Oh, I gotta get medium rare.
Yeah.
No other way.
Medium rare is where I'm at. Yeah. I don't like the charcoal, version, but yeah, can't go wrong there. When it comes to movies, what's your favorite movie?
It's gotta be Fast and Furious. Not in the new ones, the old ones.
The old ones? Yeah, can't go wrong with them. There's been a lot of them, though, hasn't there?
There's been a lot of them.
I don't know if that series is ever going to run out of steam, but yeah, the
no.
originals ones, those are pretty good, weren't they? You playing on Friday nights, on Saturday, if you're watching football, who you cheering for on college level?
Well, I don't watch a lot of college football, but probably Clemson.
Clemson? You old Clemson Tiger fan?
Yeah, went down there for a camp.
Oh, nice.
It was great.
Yeah, can't go wrong down there, huh? What's it meant? You started in what, 3rd grade? You said.
Yeah.
So you worked all the way through. Now, as a senior, looking back, what's it meant to you to be a part of the Greenway football program?
Oh, it's great. I would change it for the world. You got friends that would be with you for life, almost like family.
Yeah, like a brotherhood.
Yeah, it treats you all kinds of values and everything else.
What's it like when you come out of that locker room on a Friday night here at home like y'all are going to do this week?
There's nothing like it. It's just everything's quiet almost, where it's so loud. It's just quiet, and you're like the only one that's walking down there.
Yeah, it's pretty special, isn't it?
It is.
If you were looking back now's the senior on the team, you're looking back at a kid age when you got started, 3rd, 4th grader, looking to get into football, what would be the best advice you could give them?
To try it out. If they like it, stick with it. Because they'll make a whole lot of friends, and they won't regret it.
Yeah, that's good advice to live by, and stick with the program, and one day you'll be sitting like you all seniors. Pretty soon, sooner than you probably will want it. this whole year is going to be over in a blink, and you'll be back out on Hamilton Field walking in as a graduate next spring. What are you looking at the future after high school for you?
Well, I haven't picked out what college yet, but I want to be a small college, go get my business degree, so I can open up my own car restoration shop.
Nice. So you like doing restoration work?
Yeah, me and my dad do it all the time.
Oh, really? What's your favorite classic muscle car?
Well, I'm building one right now. It's a 73 Pontiac Ventura.
Oh, shoot. But can't go wrong with that, huh?
Can't go wrong.
Nice. Well, Connor, we wish you the best of luck, and thank you for stopping by the show. All right, we will be right back. Hello, Green Wave Nation, and welcome back to another week of the Coach Mofield Show. How you doing, Coach?
Good, Chad. How about yourself? Good to see you.
Good. Well, we're rolling into week 4. The season trucks along, but I guess we'll take a quick look back to last week down at Apollo. The end of the day, it's kind of a heartbreaker, and it hurts to lose a tight one like that. Yeah. But what was your take on the game?
Well, first of all, Chad, the end of the game, I'll accept 100% responsibility for that. I didn't do a good job of managing the clock. We put ourselves in a position to win the game. We hit a couple of passes down there, and we got down there, and we had no timeouts left, and I think we had to use our timeouts. Well, I say that, we used one probably early in the third quarter that obviously you regret using that, but we had used our timeout, so we kind of knew where we were. And then we got in a spot there where we ran out of time, and I didn't manage it well. So it's on me. I told the kids after the game, I said, don't be pointing fingers at anybody but me. Tell your moms and dads that I did a poor job of managing the clock. So it's one of those things where we addressed it again on Monday. I told the kids, I said, no finger pointing other than at me, and let's move on, because you don't want a situation like that to divide a team. And during the course of the game, obviously, even though we had an opportunity there, we probably could have done some things different in the game. There's times we played well. I think we took that opening drive and went right down the field. We looked pretty good. I thought we ran the ball pretty well. The one area offensively I think we struggled was they played a man coverage against us, and we could not get free. It's almost like I dropped a blanket over us, and we really couldn't break free in our routes, and we made some mistakes. We had a turnover there, and a few other things that hurt us. I'll be honest with you, we held them to 24 points. If you'd have told me that we would hold them to 24 points going into the game, I said I'd have given you almost 100% chance that we would have been able to win the game, because I felt like our offense would score. Not to disparage or take away from them, they got a good football team, but I feel like our offense, like I've alluded to the last few weeks, it's the most veteran group on our team. It's the team the part of our team that really kind of has to carry us through this first part of the year. And we just, we had that good opening drive, and then we kind of piddled around. We punted. We had a turnover in there, and then we just couldn't get much going. And we came out, beginning of second half, and we got lined up in 2 tight ends, and we were able to kind of impose our will on them a little bit. And but then we traded scores with them, and our defense did a good job, because they gave us the opportunity to get the ball back, and then we were able to drive down there, and we just didn't get the job done. At the end of the game, I did a bad job managing the clock here. So, but it was a tough loss. It seems like every time we go down there. 2 years ago, we go down there and it's 55-54. We miss a 2-point conversion to win the game, and then we didn't give ourselves a chance to kick that field goal at the end of the game. So the positive thing I'll say, Chad, is our kids have had a pretty good week of practice this week. We hadn't, I think addressing it, it's kind of like anything. You don't run from it, you address it. So we addressed it, and we said it's time to move on. And that's the beautiful thing about, other than it being the last game of the year, you got another week to play, so you better have a short memory, because Central Hardin, they don't care about Friday night's game. They just care about kicking our tails if we're not ready to play. So we had to get ready for Central Hardin, and we put the Apollo game behind us. Hopefully we've learned. Sometimes instead of losing, I think you need to look at it as, did you learn? So hopefully we learned from that and we got better as a team. And that's the last our road game for a while. We got 3 home games in a row, so it'll be nice to be at home.
Yeah, and it's so easy to sit there and second guess that kind of stuff when you should have done this, should have done that as somebody watching.
Yeah.
But especially with a bunch of 18, 17, 16-year-olds, 20 seconds or whatever, it gets a little crazy, especially.
It does. It got a little hairy there, but that's where I think that my job as a head coach is when it gets hairy or dicey, I've got to step in and I think I got caught in the moment myself and we just didn't give ourselves. I would have liked to. I don't know whether Nolan would have kicked the field goal or not, but that really. All I wanted was a chance, and I didn't give our kids a chance, so that's on me. But anyway, we got to bounce back, and we got opportunities, and we can't let that loss at Apollo affect how we play Friday night against Central Hardin. We got to have we got to have a kind of a relief pitcher's mentality. If you give up a home run, you better move on. I can't remember what coach. I think it was Kentucky's baseball coach was talking on the Paul Feinbaum show, and he said. We have the midnight rule, I guess. He said at midnight we forget about it. It's a new day, and he said whatever happened, we got beat, we forget about it. If we won, we forget about it. We move on. So that's kind of how we've got to be. We got to move on from that loss and focus on a good Central Hardin football team.
Well, and you bring that up because I think you never want to lose, but at the same time. Moral victories are,
right.
They're not worth anything in the grand scheme of things. But
right.
You came out. I mean, it was right there. It could have went either way, and I think there's a lot to build on going into this week.
I think our kids were. I will say this. I think our kids were more ready to play probably than they were in the E-Town game. I think in the E-Town game we were a little bit shell-shocked, I think, just because I don't know what it was, but I think we're more focused and kind of ramped up for Apollo. And Apollo's got an outstanding team. If you were at the game, the people that were at the game, their secondary is pretty daggone good. I mean, they're athletic. We talked about the young man that was probably leading the state in interceptions. I don't know. He had 3, I think, going in after 2 games. They tackled well. Number 1 was a difference maker for him on offense and defense, but I think we contained him from a defensive standpoint. I think on offensively, like I said earlier, I think their coverage is kind of, and that's an area for us to look and say, what can we do? Because we're probably going to see that again against other teams.
Yeah.
We've got to shorten our routes. We've got to, we need to go to our what we call our quick game. Because some of our stuff was slow developing. And it wasn't that every time they had us so blanketed we didn't have anybody. Sometimes we just missed. Sometimes we may run a wrong route. I do think our protection was pretty good. Now, there's a couple times where Kate had to step up, but that's going to happen. You're not going to be 100% in most games on protection. They're going to blitz or something, but I don't think he was running for his life, all night long. It wasn't that, and that back to our offensive line we talked about last week. I thought they did a good job in the run game. I thought they did a pretty dang good job in the pass game too, and then I think our defense did what they had to do. I mean, that's a team that 2 years ago, not the same exact team, but a program that can put some points on the board. Coach Edge, he's an offensive, he's really a good coaches the offense well, and he has for years. And he knows how to scheme, and he does a good job. And so to hold them to 24 points, I felt like was kind of a success for our defense. And then I thought our special teams, for the most part, did a good job. I think that's 2 weeks in a row that Coach Trotter's had. I think, what did we block, 2 extra points?
Well, I was going to bring that up, 2 extra points, and then they went for 2, and you shut that down. So that that really made a big difference of shaving points off from their side.
I think we've made some gains in that. So compliments to Coach Trotter for that, because I think after week 1, Again, people that don't know every aspect. I mean, it looked like the special teams cost us, but we cost ourselves in that first game overall, not just on the special team standpoint. But he's done a good job, and again, it goes back to not having a whole lot of time because, coaching special teams, time is limited sometimes.
Yeah. And, and like I said, there's plenty of positive to move forward with. And, these early games, especially in the playoff system of today, it really don't matter what you do so much in week 2 or 3 or 1, as long as you're always moving forward. And now we've got a chance to move forward against an old foe that we know well. And I think one of the pitfalls I saw on paper that I'm sure you've addressed with the boys is Central Hardin. We've played them since they started in the 90s. It doesn't matter. They've always put out a competitive team, whether they're having a great season or not. And, on paper they're 0-3, but I'm sure that's not necessarily a team that you want to treat as 0-3.
You're absolutely right, Chad. They've played 3 really good teams. They played George Rogers Clark. They played DuPont Manual, and they played Henderson County. Henderson County is a common opponent for both of us. So they played 3 really good. I think Henderson County is a really good team that'll probably be around in the end, probably at least a top 5 or so team. And I think they'll be around, when it's all said and done. So, Central Hardin's big up front. The positive thing about us is we're not small. I mean, our offensive line we got a couple 300-pounders up there too. So I think they've got some nice-sized kids, and they've always had some nice-sized kids. We do too. They run. I tell you what they do that makes it very difficult from a standpoint of they run an older type offense. They run the veer. You're probably familiar with it because we ran the veer when you played. And I tell you what, I'll be honest with you, I had a lot of fun when I first moved to Meade County, and John Proctor was running the veer, and we'd pull a veer path out in the winter, and it was a piece of carpet, and we'd have our quarterbacks work on the mesh with the fullbacks, and it's harder to run today because with the new safety rules, which are good for kids, but those quarterbacks take a pounding in the veer. I mean, just about every time your quarterback could be getting hit. And I don't know how the service academies do it. They have to have probably 5 or 6, 7 quarterbacks on a roster, let alone a high school. I mean, we're not 6 or 7 deep at quarterback, or 4 or 5 deep. So, but anyway, Central's doing it, and Coach Stockdale's doing a good job. They controlled the clock against Manual. It was a low-scoring game, and the reason it was they were able to control the line of scrimmage a little bit. And I think just because Manual's like us, you don't see that every day. So you really have to be disciplined. You have to have somebody assigned to the quarterback, somebody assigned to the dive, somebody assigned to the pitch. Now, they may come out and pitch it all over the place tomorrow night, but they're not a team that pitches it a lot. It's a 2-man game with them a lot. It's between the fullback and the quarterback. They'll throw it enough to keep you honest, but and then defensively they run a 5-2. Some people call it a 3-4, but I call it a 5-2. That's what I knew it as for 30-something years I've been coaching, and that's kind of what I call it. They take their 2 outside linebackers, which I call ends, and they'll walk them up on the line. They'll give you a 5 across the front, 2 linebackers, and obviously they have 2 corners and 2 safeties. And so anyway, they present some problems from a size standpoint, from a scheme standpoint, and we'll have to be, and they're always physical. Like you said, it's been other than on years when we would be really down and they might be down, which that hadn't happened much. It's usually a competitive game, and for years they were in our district, and then when the KHSAA decided to bust our district up, but I do got to give Coach Mattingly's not there anymore, but I got to give him props for keeping us on the schedule, because it's a game that's 2 teams that are close to each other. Instead of us having to drive 3 or 4 hours to play a football game, we get to drive 40-45 minutes to go play them. So hats off to Tim for doing that. And then it was already on the schedule. And I would say down the road, Coach Stockdale will keep it on too, just for nothing other than it's a competitive game, it's close travel, and we really don't have a rival within the county, so it takes a team like North or Central or somebody like that to kind of be the closest thing we would have to a rival, since we don't have another team within our county.
Yeah, and that's what's always fun about, since they started in the 90s, and North goes back even further in our program, and there's to be able to keep them.
And I've said this on this show, I think, and I'll give Brent Thompson credit at North. We've picked him back up for next year's schedule, and Brent never wanted to, that North wasn't running for Meade, or it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he's had some good teams. They've had a pipeline of talent to UK. But I got to give Brent credit too. Those guys, and that's the way it should be. I mean, you ought to play. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous to have to drive. And I like playing Henderson County, but I told Coach Boston, I said it's a little ridiculous to have to get on a bus, go 2 hours. There's time, there's money, there's and it's tough to do that. I mean, we shouldn't have to do that. So anyway, so hats off those Hardin County schools that are continuing to play us. We've been able to play E-Town, so I think that'll continue down the road too.
Yeah, it seems like those closer games just mean more. The communities overlap and everything.
Yeah, and they're all good programs. We're not signing up to play some patsy that we think we can run. I mean, they're not. I mean, there's times we've gotten beat by all of them, maybe in the same year or so. We just look at it from a logistical standpoint. It makes sense.
Yeah.
And with budget constraints, and I kind of look at the school system's money kind of like I look at my own. I don't go around just throwing our money away, and I think if you can play a school that's within 45 minutes, play one instead of having to drive 2 hours. And those long bus rides, as I get older, take a toll on when you get home at 1 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday morning, and or 2 o'clock. But anyway, thankfully we still have some local teams that we play.
Well, and it'll be good to be back home this week. So
yeah,
7:30.
We play 3 in a row. It's 7:30. Come out and support these kids. I mean, and I've said this, and I'll say this all the time. Regardless of what people think about the job that I do or the job that our staff does or whatever, at the end of the day, this is about the kids. It's about them going out and playing, and that's what it's about. Support the kids. Support the kids. I mean, come on, they didn't go out there and want to lose Apollo. They wanted to win. We didn't do everything it needed to win to win, but guess what? We got another opportunity. So come out, and I think Central Hardin fans will show up. I mean, they've had some success in the last few years. They'll be here. So, and I think Greenway fans will be too. I think Greenway fans are right up there with the best fans you could have. They'll show up, and we took a nice crowd to Apollo, and typically we do take good crowds. But come on out and support us, and we'll hopefully try to get things turned around.
Yeah, we look forward to it. Coach, we wish you the best of luck. And Greenwave Nation, you heard it. Get out here and support these young men Friday night at 7:30 back in Death Valley at Hamilton Field. And if you haven't seen them yet, this is a fun bunch of kids to watch. Yeah. So you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, and Chad, they're fun to coach too. I mean, I get on them and I challenge them to there's certain areas we challenge you. Better leadership, and I tell everybody the best form of leadership is, first of all, lead by example. You don't have to verbalize a lot of stuff, just lead by example. We've challenged them to be better leaders. We've challenged them in certain areas to really, when you got a team on the ropes, if you're fortunate enough, be able to, to finish the deal. But they're fun to coach. I mean, it's not like we go through practice and it's a drudgery to get through. We don't know. There's not a coach on our staff that would tell you that. And I think we expect a lot out of them, because I think a lot of them have been given. There's some talent on this team. I mean, like I've said to you before in the past, I can't tell you a time where we've put 6 or 7 kids out there that I believe could actually catch the football. I mean, there's been times when we've got one, and I'm like, what are we going to do with? Of course, obviously we ran a different scheme, and we may have run the wing T when you may only need one receiver. But now, we have 4 out there, and our running backs can catch a ball. And before I forget, I meant to say this earlier. I thought we had some bright, like you said, bright spots last week. I I thought RJ really ran the ball well for us offensively and got a lot of tough yards between the tackles. And he always did one thing: he fell forward. You know, and then I think on defense, Thomas Fox probably had 14 to 15 tackles. He was in on a lot of plays, and that's an area that we've moved him to. He's been a defensive lineman, and you know, we've moved him to linebacker, and it's not an easy spot to play. You know, it would be like going from a receiver to quarterback, essentially. You know, it's a different, you're right on the action all the time. So, but anyway, I wanted to get that in.
Yeah, well, and he introduced that quarterback to the turf pretty good. That one, that was one of the more exciting tackles I've seen all season. So, I always was big on the big hits, so that was fun to watch. But, Coach, we wish you the best of luck tomorrow night. We'll be down there with you. And Green Wave Nation, get out there and support the Green Waves tomorrow night.